Well, hello and welcome back. I am Chi Vital and I'm back with another tool for your toolkit. And today, I'll wait for you all, but we're going to be discussing how to take action, which is so relevant right about now. How to take action. So, shouts out to all of the HOC family. Shouts out to the Dark Lordism family. Peace, Jiggy. Hey, Kita. Hey, Cheryl. Thumbs up this video as you join in and let me know you're here, where you're tuning in from. And let's have a chat and a lesson and a review. All of that. All of that. All right. Welcome and thank you. So, as y'all tune in, let me know where y'all coming in from. It's so funny you mentioned Hanuman because he's definitely relevant to what we're dealing with right about now. Peace. I'm just logging into my desktop version so that I can see your comments with more ease and be able to respond in the chat. Oh, Ohio's in the building. So this afternoon, I had to just take in all that very high energy between yesterday and this morning. You all have been immersed in some very fine tools to get to a place where you can take action in an effective way. Peace and welcome. So I'll share with you all. This morning, when I woke up, for me, my dreams have frequently been children, these babies, children asking for answers, explanations, understandings of what is going on and what is going to happen for them. And underneath that all those questions, they are inquiring as to what side are people playing on when it comes to their safety and their liberty. And so I wanted to share with you all, I know most of you who are watching this channel have the patience and the clarity of mind and peace in order to follow through. So I'm going to take my time and pose to you all some deep questions so that you too can understand how to take action and what you already have available to you. Okay? All right. So, at this time where emotions are really, really high, there are those who will ask of you to come down there and maybe engage you even in a lower emotional response or a lower vibration. And I can define that, but I'm not going to define it just yet. And then there are others who will say, go higher, right? So you have these two opposing forces. When emotions are already high, you have one group that's like, oh, let's go and do whatever at one level. And then there's another that says, oh, go higher, and this is the way, peace, love, and coolness. And given the tools that you have here in HOC, the best course of action when the emotions are high are to get grounded. Not choose from a place of emotion high or low, but to find a place of groundedness in your reality. And what's most important is first finding that grounding in your immediate environment. So your immediate environment starts here, right? Right where your physical body is, where your home is, who's in your home, how are you relating to those people in your home, your foundation, all right? That's not an emotional response to high or low. That is setting the stage and the framework from which you can decide with clarity, with discernment, based off of what resources you have energetically, financially, material wise, artillery wise, um, first aid wise, your resources, right? To make a decision and take action. All right. One thing about action is that when we take action, it's a catalyst for other things to happen. When we take action, we understand that we engage in the karmic field of cause and reaction, cause and effect. And it's important to return to a place of when I want to engage in any level of exchange, I want to be clear about what that is. Okay? So, mother is not going to tell you all as a whole group to go higher and just meditate or just pray or just paint or just be creative. Nor am I going to tell an entire group to just everyone just go and do your hexings, your vexings, and go and burn things down. A leader's job is to make sure that those who are listening, who are following guidance, right, understand what position they play. So as far as my working with you, I want you to be in such a place that you understand whether you are a warrior on the front lines and physically battling, or if you are a financier in the background creating networks of wealth to support resources being put into the neighborhoods, into the families, and towards the warriors. If you are supposed to be a nurturer and keeping the baby safe while the young adults are out there on the front lines, or need time to go and gain skills so that they're more effective in the work that they're going to do for the present and the future. That's an important thing to have, because when we are emotional, we're going to go first towards what is survival, even if we are not presently in a state of survival, because we can emotionally connect to one another in such a way that if we're not aware of our exact environment, where our foundation is, where our grounding is, we can get swept up into spaces where we're not effective. Does that make sense? Let me know if you're following. Okay. Yes, I'll explain. So Master Key asked me to explain. I am, here's an example, right? I am sitting in my home. There's enough food to eat in my refrigerator. The stores in my neighborhood are not boarded up. I can walk to go and purchase whatever um, foods or clothing or whatever it is that I need. And my resources financially are in such a way that if I needed to travel or I needed to get to another location or someone was in need, I could help them in that way. If I'm not cognizant of my present location, I could decide to pick up a microphone and wear my mask and yell with a crowd and be engaged in battle. And then the resources that I have are lost to those who could use them because I didn't get present. I didn't get grounded with how I want to actually take action so that I'm effective. Because I don't belong to a defense system physically, right? Let's say if I don't belong to a dojo and I don't know how to physically combat being attacked on the street, wouldn't you agree that that individual may be more of a risk or a liability out on the front lines? Even when we look at the way that the way that, not our, the way that the system of a military is built, not everyone is a foot soldier. There are those who are fighting in the sky. There are those who are fighting in the sea. There are those who are fighting from a computer. There are those who are fighting through administration. There are those who are building the equipment. So this is my point. Not for you to not be active. I would never say don't take action. What I'm saying is that in order for you to be able to state to the babies, to the youth, to those who are looking up to you, to the questions in your mind of where do you stand and what side you're on, in order to make that decision, one, you would need to know, well, what can I do? What can I do in this place right now? And from that, you can know what side of the game you're playing, okay? And how you're going to assert that action rather than answering it with an emptiness of, well, I'm on your side, baby. Well, how? How so? How so? How do you express that? How do you express that? And so going to being grounded allows you to hear those questions of your heart of, well, how can I be effective? How can I move at this time? And getting grounded allows you to differentiate between what is real and what is on the real, the movie, okay? What is real and what is on the real, and how you can take action with a clear mind. Once having counsel with your heart so that the two can be in alignment, and it may not necessarily, the heart may want you to move a certain way, the mind will tell you another thing, but when emotions are high, it's important to have a marriage of the two You understand? We talked about cooperation yesterday. So, building on that lesson of cooperation, you want to reach a place of cooperation and logical forward movement so that your safety and your means of how you're able to assist and help effectively are maintained for the long run, because this is not an overnight thing that we're looking at. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm looking at some of the things that we experienced together already in 2020. We just got to June. Ibaye Sybil Cooper. Today is my deceased grandmother's birthday. And I just took tabs as far as um, this calling for leadership. But when Corona hit, everyone was asking for protection, and protection was given. Okay, protection was absolutely given. Everybody who participated knows that for a fact. Right? And now, as more death hits the airwaves, people want protection again, right? And they want it in more ways than one. They want protection so that from a place of supernatural abilities, which we have access to in spiritual warfare. They want justice. They want to exert violence for violence. And they want to be heard, right? But even as all of these things are desired, people want answers. People want to know, what is the plan? And everyone's giving some form of like, well, this is the answer and that's the answer. But they seem to be in these little sound bites of information. And I don't know about you, but when I go to sleep at night, I realize no one really is giving an answer. There's sound bites of opinions going back and forth. With other opinions, there's misinformation and then other information to show how that's misinformation. And so there's this level of anxiety even at nighttime where it's like, wait, I went the whole day consuming so much input, scrolling on social media, listening to the news, watching the news. And now by the end of the day, I still don't even have an answer. I have all of this input, but no answer. And so then I say to you, then you ask yourself, what can you do? What can you do? And it's best that when you're wanting to take action, you're able to get present with what is right in front of you. Because once you can take action with your immediate environment, the energy that you build towards taking action on the next level is even stronger, because now you know what it takes to organize taking an action. These are some of the tools that you've been groomed with over the last year, 2 years. All right. And I've listed them because I want to look at what's the value of what you've been receiving and how relevant is it to you? Because it's easy to just be in a space if it feels good. It's easy to just be in a space if it's consistent and it's there, right? But I want you to realize and connect between what you've been given, what you're participating in, what you're learning, and what you're practicing, so that taking action won't be so hard for you to figure out, especially when you want it to be successful, especially when you want to have victory over your enemies, seen and unseen, external and internal. All right? Y'all following me? Are y'all following me? Still? Y'all get it? All right. So here's the first truth snack. Nobody, when I say nobody is going to give you the plan. No one's going to give you the blueprint for the plan. The higher ups where everything is going on, no one's ever going to give you the plan. Not the whole plan, ever. There's a reason behind that, right? But the only time you have access to the whole plan is when you're the one creating it. And then when you're in a place where you're the one creating the whole plan, only from that seat will you realize why not everyone even needs to know the entire plan. Only from that seat. All right? And the other true snack is not everyone is equipped to write the blueprint. And there's no you're less than another person because that's a fact. That's just what it is. Okay? However, what you have in the face of self-development and understanding yourself, okay? Knowing yourself is that you can create a plan of action for your own body and the bodies you're responsible for. And because you know yourself and you have knowledge of where your seat is, and you have acceptance of who you are and what position and what role you play, you can willfully cooperate with someone who's in a seat that is able and equipped to create a blueprint and trust the course of action that they provide for you. From that place, you have a harmonious forward movement of action. Does that make sense? Not one of where you deny, and so subconsciously you fight against the leadership that you said you've chosen to support. Because we've seen enough of that. We've seen enough of that. We've done hardcore self-development work to address sources of jealousy. We've done hardcore work to address sources of depression, of lack of self-worth, of desiring to be the leader when somewhere deep inside of you, you realize that you're not even desiring really to be a chief. You want to be an Indian, if I can use that just for understanding. And knowing that as a whole, that there's power in that, right? Especially if we are looking at it from a place of cooperation and not from a place of submission, where you maintain and still stand in your power and choose your active participation in your wellness and the wholeness. So these tools of meditation, do you know that you all are a group of the most strongest, enduring meditators in the West? The length of meditation times that you can sit and listen to mantras being chanted and to breathe and to experience what that's like, that prepares you on an energetic level to be able to find groundedness no matter where the emotions are flying, within yourself or around you. I would trust you with protecting me in a field where it gets crazy over anyone who just sits for 15 minutes a day. Why? Because I know that you can block out so many things and get to the center of what's important. You can see more clearly. Your third eye can see things before it occurs. You all experience that more and more. As we work together, you are starting to be more clairvoyant about and uh, and see ahead of time certain energies you're going to start working with. You're able to see ahead of time what types of individuals may be contradicting to where you're going with your energy, with your plans for moving forward. You are able to be more confident in how you step forward in what it is you have to offer to the collective. This is building a true tribe. Okay? So I want you all to formulate a plan of action for yourselves by first trusting that this inner work that you're doing will allow you to cooperate with your divinity and allow you to see and join guidance with that is in alignment with it. Self-reflection is the basis and the strongest foundation for taking effective action. And no matter where you are, no matter what the circumstances are. So while today is Mars Day and Hanuman's Day, all right, I want you all to reflect on where you are. What is the temperature of your household? Check in with your children. They are like, what is this? Y'all adults have created a very shitty environment and we don't know what the hell. Like, what is what? And I know because I have a teenager who was like, shit. Like, we were already dealing with hella like drug abuse, depression. The music is telling us to get high and stay high to escape our problems with substances. And we've been so like consumed with that and trying to stay alive. And at the same time, like all this old history is still here coming to kill us. And then we also have the street gangs who are living in the past of what the elder gangsters have left behind for them as well. Like, they're gonna need your support on so many levels. And the last thing they need is to be whipped and reprimanded. But as elders, whether you're gray or you're just a parent, a big sister, a big brother, you've been around long enough, auntie, uncle, been around long enough, they're going to need to see that you can be grounded so that you can understand where they're coming from. To them, their lives and what they're going through is real. Their fights amongst each other are based on something they feel is real. You understand? They've been upset. But they also have been upset about things like not having parents being present with them in the household. They've been upset because it has not been enough food to eat. They've been upset because teachers no longer love their jobs, but they stay in it for whatever comfortability and talk to them like trash. They've been upset because the only people that seem to have their back are their clique. They've been upset because everyone who's supposed to be an authority that they're supposed to listen to, breaks the rules all the time, and they're the only ones that get punished for it. They've been upset. All right? So don't just get caught up. Take some time to listen to them and ask them. And educate yourselves in ways that you can be effective in taking action. All right? So everything that can be done and will be done won't be just shared like here on this format. But the more that we're doing this work and we can get together and understand the level and the power of our spiritual workings, whether it's hexing and vexing because you know what you're doing and you've been on that time, or it's protection, or it's compassion work. You know, you're effective in the work that you know how to do. And it's not a time where you want to just jump in a bandwagon. You want to know exactly how you are taking action. So that's my lesson for today. And there will be another meditation tonight. And y'all can let me know what time y'all want to do that. Either 9 or 11. 9 or 11. Let me know. Because we need more. You got to vote for 11. 11. 11. 11. All right. Well, it looks like 11 o'clock is what it is. So I will see y'all tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Much love to you all. Peace, love, and bliss.